as you follow along to this routine, all our sticks that we use are color coded. And if you buy yours off of Amazon or Temu or wherever you buy your tools, if you bought the same ones, they obviously don't come color coded. So I'm just gonna show you and explain which are which, just so that you know. So we don't use these first two because they're too big to use for anything, so you can just set those aside, because in most of my videos, we don't use them. And so you're left with these. So in this order, you can look, and it basically goes in this order from biggest to smallest: green, blue, white, yellow, pink, and black, down to the smallest one. So yeah, let's get to it. Today's mushroom, this is the color palette I'll be using, and here are the colors. So for number 1, I use Decor Americana Buttermilk. For number 2, I use Craft Smart Dark Yellow. Number 3, just Craft Smart Orange. Number 4 is Light Avocado Decor Americana. Number 5, Hauser Dark Green Decor Americana. And for the last one is just Craft Smart Silver. Okay, are we ready to get started on the mushroom?
Ooh, as ready as we'll ever be. We got this, we're good.
First step, we're gonna take the big blue stick with paint color number 1.
Okay. Should we open all of them?
Probably best to open one at a time so that they don't dry out, and also when you're in it, you can dip into the wrong paint color.
There you go. Scale turned around. Yep.
Okay, so you're gonna dip it in paint color number 1, and there's a little indent in the middle of your mushroom top. You're just gonna put it right on top. That.
We're going too fast.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly with the smaller end with paint color number 3. And here's like a little trick to aligning your design perfectly, especially on this first row of dots. You don't just want to go dot, dot, dot all the way around, because then you might get an odd number of dots, and then when you try to do every other space, that's not going to work, and it's not going to come out symmetrical. So, tip, called north, south, east, west. So you're going to place one dot, and you're going to place one right across from it, like that. Then you're going to try and find the middle of those and put it to the side like that, and then a dot right across from this one. Okay?
And you're using the bigger side?
The smaller side.
Smaller side.
Once you have these 4 dots, we're going to go in with the same size, same color, and put one dot in between those spaces.
We can do this. We can do this. No pressure.
Okay, now again, going in with the same size and same color, you should be able to squeeze in one more in between those. Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly again, but we're gonna switch to the bigger end with paint color 4. And we're gonna place a dot above, but in between the orange ones, like that. Can you see that?
Yep, okay. And kind of just like step.
The bigger one, right?
Yes, the bigger one. Okay, next step, we're gonna take the white twirly, the bigger end with paint color 6, and we're gonna do the same thing with the next row, just putting it in between but above.
Orange is my silver.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the little black stick with paint color number 2, and we're gonna put it above but in between the silver ones, but we're gonna do every other gap, okay?
Okay, every.
Okay, so next step, we're gonna be walking the dots, and we're gonna need the pink twirly and the yellow twirly. And with paint color 5, first, you're gonna take the pink twirly smaller end, and you're gonna place the first dot, and then you'll take the the yellow twirly smaller end to walk the dots.
Small end of both. Okay.
And you can do that first dot all the way around
Okay.
first, so that you don't have to keep switching.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, so next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly with paint color 3, and we're gonna walk the dots again, using the bigger end of the pink twirly for that first dot, and then you're gonna switch to the smaller end to walk the dots around.
Yeah, big and small are the same.
We're gonna do the same thing with paint color 6. So pink twirly, bigger end for that first dot, and then switch to the smaller end to walk the dots. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna take the pink twirly, the bigger end, with paint color 4. And we're gonna start here, like in between
Okay, yeah.
of the leaves, and we're gonna drag up.
Okay.
And we're gonna start at the same spot, so you want them to connect at the bottom and go the other way. And then when you do the other one, when you go up, you don't want the tops to touch. Okay, so that it almost gives it an elegant type of border, because if
Yeah.
they touch, it'll look too bulky.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
Big side of the.
I know.
Okay, next step, we're gonna use the white twirly bigger end with paint color number 1. And we're just gonna put a small dot right there in like the crevice of those little birdies. If you look at it this way, it's like these are the heads and then these are the arms, and it'll be like a little circle of people holding hands.
Okay, that's. Right.
Okay, next step, we're gonna use the pink stick
Okay.
with paint color 2. And we're just gonna put it above those small dots we just did, like that. Okay, next step, we're gonna use the white twirly with paint color number 3. And we're gonna walk the dots. So using the bigger end for the first dot, and then switching to the smaller end to walk the dots around. Okay, next step, we're gonna do the same thing with paint color 6. So white twirly, bigger end for the first dot, and then smaller end to walk the dots.
Do the same one. Okay. Which one? Yeah. There's the big guy. Okay.
Okay, so next step, we're gonna use the white twirly with paint color 5. And when we're walking the dots, so you're gonna place the bigger dot with the bigger side, you're gonna place that first dot, and then you're not gonna switch to the smaller end. You're gonna stay with the bigger end to walk the dots.
Ah, okay. So same.
So we have big leaves. What color?
Number 5. Okay, next step, we're gonna take the white stick with paint color 5, and we're gonna go back to the very middle dot, and we're gonna overlap it, but still leaving a little sliver of the original color, like that. Next step, we're gonna take the white twirly bigger end with paint color 5, and we're gonna do the same thing to these dots right here. Just gonna overlap it, but still leaving a little sliver of the original color.
Yeah, the next.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the blue twirly bigger end with paint color 5, and we're gonna do the same thing to the next, like walking the dot set. Okay, so next step, we're gonna need the blue twirly and the little black stick. And we're gonna walk the dots with number 2. So using the little black stick for that first dot, and then the blue twirly bigger end to walk the dots.
Wait, what number?
Number 2. Okay, next step, we're gonna use the blue twirly bigger end with paint color 4.
Hey, force it. Yay! She's like, please don't behind. Okay.
I really am though.
And we're gonna start here in the middle, and we're gonna drag up.
Okay, drag up. Okay.
And not touching, right?
Yeah, not touching at the top, but connecting at the bottom.
Oh gosh.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the white twirly with paint color 3. And so using the bigger end, you're gonna place 1 dot right there in the little crevice. That was a close one. And then we're gonna take the smaller end of the white twirly and we're gonna walk the dots straight out along the swoosh. And then same thing on the other side.
Okay. That's the smaller end, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, big line and then walk with this one. Okay. And number 3. Yeah, every time.
Yes, I do. Why would you like to go the most?
Okay, so next step, we're gonna take the white twirly, bigger end, with paint color I'm just kidding, 6. Paint color 6. And we're gonna drag it one way
Okay.
and then the other way.
Okay. And make this so hard. Big end with big end of white. Okay. With 6. And drag. The drag is where I get tested. Okay.
Okay, so next step, we're gonna take a break from the top part of the mushroom and we're gonna come to the stem. And this is your time to customize it. So, see, we're gonna do like little rows of dots just around.
Yeah.
You can do as many rows as you want. And you can pick as many colors. I mean, 2 looks fine, but you could do 3, just, you know. So using the little yellow stick, little black stick, I'm sorry. And you're just gonna pick 2 colors or more to coordinate. Go back and forth, and you're just gonna go all the way around. Just. And for this, you don't have to do north, south, east, west because we're just doing it round and round. Okay, so after I have my first row of dots around the stem, when you do your second row, you're gonna do it above but in between. See? So you're not gonna put it right above the dot like that, you'll put it in between. Okay, so we're gonna come back to the cap of the mushroom and we're gonna do a little bit more.
Okay.
So we're gonna take the little black stick with paint color number 1 and we're just gonna put a little dot right here.
Black stick number.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly with paint color number 2 and we're gonna walk the dots. So using the bigger end for that first dot and then smaller end to walk the dots around.
Have you been to Montreal before?
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly with paint color number 3 and we're gonna walk the dots again. But this time you're not gonna switch to the smaller end. You're gonna stay with the bigger end the whole time.
Pink twirly, what should say? Big and just the big end, and we walk the dots again, but we don't switch. Okay. And color number 3. It's gonna be hard to hold this like that.
Girl was telling me when mine is like on the edge. Like I'm pretty much done after this one. I'm like a lazy Susan.
Yeah.
I was all worried about getting paint on my clothes and like that was all over my hands. I recently did help with a person who called about their dog more than I thought I'd ever would imagine.
Oh yeah?
Because they ate a mushroom. Yeah.
Okay, next step, we're almost done. So we're gonna take the
I know. I have to leave eventually.
Okay, number 4.
we're gonna take the white twirly with number 4 and we're gonna use the bigger end to place the first dot and then you'll switch to the smaller end, but you're gonna walk the dots straight out to this
Oh, yeah.
dot over here.
Oh. Oh gosh, okay. Connect the dots.
Yeah. Okay, we're almost done with the cap. One last step.
Okay.
Last step. We're gonna take the white twirly, bigger end, with paint color 5. And you're gonna start here in between and drag up.
Okay. Paint 5 or 1?
5.
5. Okay.
It's just my 5 is really dark, so I just use a different one.
And it's the big end?
Yeah.
Yes.
Big end.